Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Today we got 4 new cards from the upcoming Saviors of Uldum expansion, including the Paladin Legendary Quest. And in this video I'm going to review all 4 cards and what implications they have for the future of Hearthstone. The first card is a Warlock class card, Expired Merchant. A 2-mana 2/1 with a battle cry, discard your highest cost card and a death rattle to add 2 copies of it to your hand. So at first sight this looks like a discard mechanic card, and it kind of is, but this is discard mechanic done differently than it has ever been done before, really. Because the main use of this card is to duplicate your resources. So what kind of resources would you like to duplicate? Well, Mountain Giant for one could be nice, but do note that when this sort of wording has been used in cards before, it has referred to the current cost of cards in hand. So if you have a lot of cards in hand, that Mountain Giant is a lot cheaper, so it might not be the highest cost card in your hand. So that only works in a very early game scenario. Later in the game there's also of course the risk that this ends up getting silenced, so you might want to kill it with something like a Mortal Coil. But what would you discard in the late game? This could even be an infinite value engine for a Warlock. Let's say you run Soul Wardens in your deck. You discard 1 Soul Warden and you discard 1 target card with your 2 Expired Merchants. That means that then whenever you play Soul Warden, you get another Soul Warden and you get the target card, and so on and so on. You can just create infinite cards. And even if you don't create infinite cards, well, 2 copies of something like, let's say, Jeff Nomi, that will allow you to create a couple of Jeff Nomi boards. Is couple of Jeff Nomi boards threatening enough? Probably not. What about going infinite with Soul Wardens and Jeff Nomis, but then every other turn you have to play a Soul Warden, every other turn you can play Jeff Nomi? Yeah, this gets pretty tricky. If there's some kind of huge value engine card, then this could really be interesting in that kind of scenario. Overall, I like this card a lot. I think this is a very interesting design and it's going to open up a lot of opportunities. Whether that's going to be good enough for Warlock, because remember the main problem of Warlock right now is that it has no healing, and this is not solving that problem, then that's another matter. Then we have the new Paladin Legendary Quest, Making Mummies. Quest, play 5 reborn minions, reward Emperor Wraps. Emperor Wraps is hero power, summon a 2/2 copy of a friendly minion. So Paladin has already been kind of the king of sustain. It can just create endless and endless and endless threats, and maybe this reborn mechanic means that if there's a sufficient pool of reborn minions, you hang on in the game with those reborn minions early on, they contest the board against other more aggressive decks, then later in the game you start to make copies of some powerful things. Let's say you run stuff like the Undertaker or Tyrion Fordring, and then on turn 10 you can play these and the hero power. These were the biggest, baddest 8-drops that I could think of. And this kind of also solves the problem that, okay, what if you run the Undertaker and the Undertaker gets silenced? Well, on turn 10 you can just play 2 at the same time. I'm not completely sure what that kind of Paladin deck would look like, but it could have tons and tons of value. Does that value translate into survival? That's another matter. We'll have to see about that. We are also getting an immensely powerful neutral minion. Mummy. 1-mana 1/1 Murloc with Reborn. So when it dies, it summons another 1-mana 1/1 Murloc. And this is actually a really big deal, because Murloc decks don't have a lot of 1-drops. Murloc decks have Murloc Tidecaller, which is by the way great synergy with this, because if you happen to have Tidecaller on 1 and you play Mummy, and then Mummy sometimes dies, and then it summons another Murloc, so it buffs up the Tidecaller again. Just great stuff. Access to another 1-drop, a sticky 1-drop that summons a Murloc as a death rattle, so then Toxfin can also be used when you have some of these expendable Murlocs on the board. Just overall a great card. Great card for Murloc, but also a 1-mana 1/1 that's another 1/1 when it dies. It's basically a Mecha-Roo that's a Murloc, and that has some real potential. And the 4th new card that was revealed today is Hidden Oasis. A druid spell, 6 mana, choose 1, summon a 6/6 ancient with taunt or restore 12 health. Okay, 6/6 Ancient with Taunt for 6 mana, that's not bad. It's not awesome, but it's not bad. 12 health for 6 mana, that's a little bit worse, but okay. This is clearly a quest synergy card. The Druid Quest untapped potential, quest end 4 turns with any unspent mana, reward Osirian Tier. Osirian Tier, your choose one cards have both effects combined. So you play the untapped potential on 1, and then you have unspent mana on 2, 3, 4, and 5. Boom, you get the hero power, and on 6. Depending on how the game has progressed, what your hand looks like, you can go with Nourish, gain mana crystals and draw cards, or you can go with Hidden Oasis, get a taunt minion heal up. So this all synergizes nicely, but is it strong enough? Is it anywhere near strong enough in a world where Mountain Giants and Conjurer's Callings are the norm? I really don't know about that one yet. But still, an interesting synergy, and when you have the Osirian Tier, Hidden Oasis is an Ancient of Lore on steroids. So, 4 pretty interesting cards today. New Week's shaping up to be a really interesting one. The next reveals should come on Sunday according to the reveal schedule. And I will of course be reviewing all the cards as they come out. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.